So the second part of the disciples' argument is, in verse 46 was, that there is no sign of the soul. First part was that body, sense or breath can be equated soul. And the second part was there is no independent evidence or sign for the existence of the soul. So he's now going to answer that. So verse 46 was that there is no sign of the soul evidently known, therefore to believe it as a separate substance from the body, etc., is false. Answering that in this verse 54 says,
सर्वावस्थाने विषे ज्ञानो सदा जना प्रकटरूप चैतन्यमय एधान सदा.
Sarva, all, avastha, states, vishay. Sarva avastha ne vishay, in all the states, all the modifications, all the changes. Nyaro. Nyaro means bhinna or separate. Sarva avastha, different states or modifications or changes. The soul is separate, always known, sada janai, always known, separate. Pragata roop, such an ever-present, evident. Ever-present I am not writing here because sadai pachala avanu છે એટલે. So, pragata roop, visible, evident, chaitanyamay, consciousness, this sign of consciousness is so evident. Endhan means the indication or the sign, or you can say the characteristic of soul, sadai. So this consciousness is a permanent, eternal, ever-present characteristic of that substance called soul. Short meaning. Though the soul, of course, though the soul present in all the states. So what states am I talking about? So you can take one example, waking state, dream state or sleep state. Whether you are dreaming, whether you are sleeping, you are in deep slumber, or whether you are awakened. In all these states, or whether it is childhood or youth or old age, all the different states of the body, of the mind, etc. So all these different states, when we are talking of walking, dream and sleep, you can say the states of the mind. And when we are saying childhood, youth and old age, it's the changes and modification or states of the body. So in all the different states of the body and the mind, the mind is not taken very clearly here because the purpose is only separation from body, separateness from the body. So let's stick to the body only. There will be another set of questions for the mind. So, though present in all the states, that which remains separate from those states, which continue to exist even after the states are gone, after the sleep is gone, still it is there. After the wakefulness is gone, still it is there. In the dreams it is there. After the dream state has gone, it is still there. So, which continues to exist even after those states are gone, and which knows the state. I'll explain. Such is the evident nature of consciousness, that is, to keep knowing is its evident nature, and the sign is always present. This sign is never destroyed. So the ever-present sign of knowingness is taken here to show the sign of the soul. Just imagine for us, say, few days back, or say, few moments back, if we see the literal composition of Atma Siddhi Shastra, the very existence of the soul was questioned. Apnama, it must be 2-3 days back, right? 3 days back. The very existence of the soul was questioned. And if you see the flow of Atma Siddhi Shastra, the Shishya is speaking and then the Guru starts. So it just must be few moments back, the very existence of the soul was questioned, and now we are discussing the nature, the qualities, the characteristics of the soul. Few moments back, the existence was questioned, and how just pondering in the right direction, and you want to know more, not of the existence, of the nature of the soul. We already passed, we surpassed the existence કે ચાલો હશે પણ કેવું છે આત્મા? No, why do you want to know કેવો છે? પહેલા કોને છે? So it's become so inevitable to believe in some knowingness valu substance. So you want to know more. So you are actually seeing, see, such tough things have started. Sarvavastha and Vishay Nyaro ne Sada Janai and Apan Jane and Avite Nyaro ne Nyaro che Epan Janai. And what are we talking about? We just wanted to know whether soul exists or not. And he has pulled us so far, we are actually discussing the nature of the soul. So while the soul is, as we saw in 52, integrating force, or you saw the soul as harmonizer, harmonizing all the thoughts and all the integration of all the different information got from different senses. He was a supplier of significance to occurrence and objects and all that what we said. More significant thing is of the soul. Most significant thing is its nature. Listen to two words and it is very, its nature, the nature of the soul is changeless. It doesn't change. Nature of the soul is changeless. Nature of the soul is indestructible. In any state, any changes of the body, any state, it remains dhruva, kutastha, sthira, changeless. That is the most significant. It is timeless and it is changeless. Cannot be destroyed. And because the existence cannot be destroyed, the characteristics won't be destroyed. That's why it's always present. Because it always exists. The nature of the soul is timeless, changeless, and it cannot be destroyed. Indestructible. So irrespective of the state the soul is in, the body is alive or the body dies, the soul is going to remain. Because the nature of the soul is to remain, exist, eternal. See, he's already started second pad. So if Rushabh has to go, at least he has a... Oh, you're here? મને લાગે આ મોક્ષ જઈને જ જશે હવે એવું લાગે છે. They have become very cunning, huh? These NRIs. એ લોકો 2-4 દિવસ વધારીને એક યજ્ઞ પૂરો કરે છે. So, very good. So, you are understanding? Whether the body is living or the body dies, the Atma remains. Because the nature of the soul is changeless. Whether it is in dream state or sleeping state or a state of wakefulness, the nature of the soul remains the same. It does not change. Whether it is in a state of child or a youth or say old age, the nature of the soul will not change. And the basic nature is knowingness. Knowingness will always. હા રેગ્યુલેટર જેવું તો થશે. હવે ઓલ્ડ એજમાં કે સાલું શું હતું પેલું કે આનું રેગ્યુલેટર જ વાનું ઉપર છે. મેમરી અને યુથમાં હોય તો કે અપૂર્વજી નોઝ કે નેક્સ્ટ સેન્ટેન્સ હું શું બોલીશ એનું 5 ઉપર છે. જે 1 પર આવશે જ એ બી બુઢો તો થશે જ ને. એટ વન પોઈન્ટ કે હા આવું કંઈક બાપાએ કીધેલું આવું કીધેલું અને છોકરાઓ થશે કે હવે ઓલ ધીસ જીસ હેવ બીકમ ઓલ્ડ નાઉ. બટ ધ નેચર ઓફ ધ સોલ વિલ નોટ ચેન્જ. રેગ્યુલેટરમાં ફેરફાર થશે બી. But the nature, I don't know is also knowing, no? Huh? I don't recollect. આવું કંઈક બોલ્યા હતા. That you recollect, no? That is also knowing, no? The verb know comes in don't know also, no? What are you doing? I'm not doing anything. So that is the doing, no? So beautiful. Whether the body lives or dies, મને શું ફરક પડે છે? કોવિડમાં ઉપડી ગયા તો બી આપણે શું ફરક પડે? હું તો રહેવાનો જ છું. I am timeless and changeless. Just imagine ખાલી આ fundamental truthની શ્રદ્ધા થાય. Your state is going to be very different. Your inner states are going to be different. So irrespective of your child, if you are in a state of child or youth or old age, or you are awake or you are sleeping or you are dreaming, these are the different states of body, mind, etc. In whichever state, irrespective of that, the nature of the soul is not going to change. It's always going to remain as same. It won't change. It will remain same. So it's never going to merge with the state it is in or association it is with. If it's in association with the body, still it will never turn into a body because the nature is to know and remain separate. That is the ભિન્ન રહેવું અને જાણ્યા કરવું. Separate, number 1, ન્યારો. એકચ્યુઅલી હું તો 3 કાઢું છું પણ હમણાં 2 જ કાઢું છું આમાંથી. ન્યારો સદા જનાય. ન્યારો એટલે સેપરેટ, ભિન્ન, and સદા જનાય એટલે it literally means here that it is always known as separate, but I take it as 2 sadhana. I always know and I am always separate. I take 1 sadhana from here. ન્યારો, ભિન્ન, separate, સદા જનાય એટલે કે it is known or સદા જાણતો જ રહે. That knowingness is always there. I take it that way, so it becomes the basis of my sadhana. The soul remains separate and conscious, and this is the permanent attribute of the soul. So this is permanent. Who told? What word in the verse is saying that? Sada. એ એંધાન સદાય. 2 વાર. ઉપર બી સદા છે ને second line બી સદા. Permanent. This is the permanent attribute, eternal attribute, ever present attribute of the soul. Fine? Let's turn to the verse, but now it's very, very clear. The disciple had raised a question in verse 46. Let's repeat the verse 46.
अथवा देहज आत्मा अथवा इंद्रिय प्राण.
Right? Athva indriya pran, it got solved in the last verse. Next line.
मिथ्या जूदो मानवो नहीं जूदो एंधान.
What is endhan? Sign. So તો કે કોઈ એવી સાઇન જ નથી. You want me to believe in the existence of some substance which has no significant, evident sign. You want me to believe in such a substance? There has to be some sign, some indication. And it has to be very clear. આને લાગે ને આને ન લાગે એવું ના હોવું જોઈએ. It should be very, very evident. Indication કંઈક તો જોઈએ ને. You want a sign? I'll give you. So now see the last three words in this verse. A endana sada. You wanted a sign, right? So I'm giving you a sign. See how he's answering. From now we can say he's going to be really very, very satisfied in the end. Just see the interest the Guru is taking in the Shishya. He is using his words. Same words, Endan. So question was raised, please show me some sign, some indication of the existence of this new material, new substance which has which is being proved, the soul. So give me some sign, because it's not possible to accept anything in the absence of a sign. So Guru says, I'm ready. In very few words and in a wondrous style, few words were to give a sign of that Atma. ના જેટલો બી હોય આટલો બી હોય મહિમાની દ્રષ્ટિએ કહું છું હું. અને તમને થશે કે સારું આટલું જ ખબર નહોતું જે સ્વરૂપ સમજાવીને પામ્યો દુઃખ અનંત. And how my dukh is now going to come to an ant. With the knowledge I am getting, he has not yet started the path of liberation or path of realization. He has not yet explained that. Imagine so many doubts are being cleared, so many feelings are becoming pure, your thoughts are getting aligned, but he has not yet shown. Imagine when you will be doing moksha upaya, you will actually feel moksha, not moksha upaya. Right? So we'll do it in short. Okay. So what, as long as the soul is in the body, the soul gives the body life and consciousness. કેવો ભાગ્યા કરે, કેવો આ કરે, and death થાય ત્યારે કાંઈ નહીં. So what is that makes it living? You were using the word living body, living body. So what is that making the body living? So some presence of some substance is giving life and consciousness, because now he stopped knowing when he's dead. He was knowing till yesterday. So life and knowingness, this too is because of the presence of that conscious entity. So this is the sign of the soul, he's saying. Or you can say an attribute. What is the meaning of attribute? Gujaratiમાં શું કહું? Attribute. Gun. All lakshana also gun. In Dravya gun, Paryay, where does it come? Gun, no? Specific gun, it is lakshan, but lakshan is gun. So you don't need to hear all this. Huh? What is an attribute? Anything. Attribute of this clock, I say. Attribute of the soul, I say. What is the meaning of attribute? Attribute means that which exists in all the part of the object, in all its modifications. In all its changes, it has to remain. Very simple. What is the definition of an attribute? The meaning, the definition of the word attribute. Two things. It should be in all the part. You can't say it's in the half part of the body. Then it cannot become an attribute. Right? So all the parts of that substance, it should be, and in all its states or modifications, it has to be there. Only that can be considered as an attribute. Very simple. So, what is the attribute of the soul? Consciousness. Because it's present everywhere, everywhere in the sense, in the whole substance, and every time. Everywhere, every time. Everywhere, meaning the whole substance. Consciousness is not only in the top part of the Atma. And the lower part of the Atma, there is no consciousness. It's not like that. It has to be in the whole substance and every time. Everywhere, every time. મેં કીધું ને તમને ઘણું philosophical knowledge મળશે. By the end of Atmasiddhi, you will add one more thing in your visiting card, philosophy. You'll be stuffed with. But let's make the whole process enjoyable, That is important. I want to seek. I want to search myself, not the soul. Soul becomes some third thing. I want to search myself, and for that I need to know some direction I need, how and where to search. Why to search is very clear now. First lecture of Sri Atmasiddhi Shastra, why to search. But how and where? So, the soul never loses its existence, meaning the soul will never lose its consciousness. The soul never loses its existence, and because this is related with existence, because every time, attribute is there present every time. So, from when it exists till it exists, and that from is also not there and till is also not there. So, it exists, will be existing till it is 11:30 and we shut. It will be existing only. Right? So, it is existing, meaning it is always going to be conscious. Meaning, it will always be a knower. So, existence and consciousness is it's linked with each other, and because it never loses existence, it will never lose this knowingness. So, present in the whole substance and present every time. So, knowing, acha, every time. But what in that sound sleep, when you are snoring, that time at least you won't be knowing, no? So that's why he's used the word sarva avastha. Because you'll come up, see, you are tired, so you don't have any questions. Okay, now we believe it will exist. But it is that worthy Shishya who would say, no, but in deep sleep, in sound sleep, I'm not knowing anything. And you said it knows in every state. You understand? So, I'm bound by the gatha by this verse that I have to explain this sarva avastha and then say, okay, you have understood. Because you understood one thing, and this one word is disturbing our whole belief regarding the soul does not exist. That was a belief, but this one word, consciousness. Because of that, we have to So, one passes through different states, but there is no change in the nature, I said. It passes to different states, modification, but there is no change in its nature. And the Gnani's focus is on that nature unchanging, not on the states which are changing. The states are changing, the nature is unchanging. The drashti, the focus of an enlightened is on this unchanging nature, and he is just a witness to the changes. So easy to become a Gnani. To become a doctor, it's difficult, but to become a Gnani is so simple. Your focus. You don't have to change this, you don't have to change this. You don't have to change the nature of the soul, you don't have to change the situations or modifications also. You just need to change your focus. That's it. Nothing you have to do. Doing nothing, just being, because you exist with consciousness. You don't have to, just knowing is also wrong. આપણે કહેવાય ને કે ધ્યાનમાં just know it, just knowing. But just say no, just be, because your existence is only knowing. That's what I proved. No, existence is consciousness now. And consciousness means knowing. So to exist is to know. So just say no, exist. So the Zen masters will say, just be. They won't say, just be a witness. Why make it so long? You are only a witnessing nature, Valo. So just be. Don't do. Don't ડાયો નહીં થા, બસ વધારે નહીં કર. Don't overthink or overdo. If you don't, that is meditative state. So if you do a lot, if you put a lot of efforts in meditation, it is wrong meditation. Hello? જેટલી મહેનત તો ના ના મારે કાંઈ ભટ્ટી નથી કરવાની, હમણાં મારે થોડું રિલેક્સ રહેવું છે. રિલેક્સ રહેવું છે તો ભટ્ટી કર, એમાં કાંઈ નહીં આવે, કંઈ જ કરવાનું નહીં આવે. It's something simpler than going off to sleep. If it's little different to you, if your experience of meditation is different, means you are wrong. You are on the wrong path. You are overdoing. You are going to start hating meditation. You will start hating the soul, and then you will start hating the Sadguru who explained anything about the soul. You are going to hate everything one by one. And if you enjoy meditation, means you are going to enjoy soul. You are going to enjoy જે જ્ઞાની જે સમજાવ્યું તે પદ નમું શ્રી સદગુરુ ભગવંત, everything. So your only effort should be not getting bored. So it's going to remain separate, and just know two things, you know, Nyaro and Janai. Janai, I am using it in the way Jane Chete. Janai here means it is always observed separate. I think I need to just talk about these three avastha for 2 minutes, and then we can just sum up and close for the day. So, sarva avastha ne vishe. Now, what is this vishe? Nyaro to you explain. Nyaro means separate, binna, nyaro, sada. But what is this sarva avastha ne vishe? It does exist in all the three states. It exists. Then only you call it witness, no? The witness should exist at the place of crime. You cannot say, I was in Singapore when the murder was happening in Bombay. London. Bombay, London. No, then you can't be a witness in the court. You have to. So the soul exists in all these states, in the changing states, as I said, childhood, youth, old age, or you say dreaming, wakefulness, or slumber, sleep. It does, vishe means it is present in the states, still separate, always knowing. But it has to exist. It is sarva avastha ne vishe, it is present, but its nature is such that it always remains separate and is always knowing the states. See, you are awake. Do you agree that you are in that state of knowingness and all? Huh? Wrong knowing, right knowing is your problem. Are you knowing कि घड़ियाल बहुत धीमी धीमी जा रही है? Are you knowing that or not? So at least that knowingness is there. So in the when you are awake, it's very easy to believe this. Okay, you are in a state of knowing. What about dreams? Okay, yes, when you are in a state of dream, or when you are in a dreaming state, you understand the dream, you know the dream. And when you get up, at least you feel that you have dreamt, પછી તમારું રેગ્યુલેટર બહુ વીક છે એટલે યાદ નથી રહેતું. જ્ઞાનનું મેમરી ને તો you can explain, Mata Trishla could say, I have seen 14, 16, whatever it is. Digambars believe 16, Svetambars believe 14. 14 dreams and one by one she could narrate it. So for her, the dreaming states, in the dream she was knowing, and when she got up also she could recollect what she was dreaming. That means the knower is there. Okay, but in the sleep, સુષુપ્ત અવસ્થા હોય. કોઈને ધરમપુરમાં મચ્છર કરડ્યું છે. ઓહ, જાણે કે તમારું બોડી લેન્ડિંગ પ્લેસ ના હોય મચ્છર માટે. એન્ડ સ્પેશિયલી વેન વન્સ યુ આર સ્લીપિંગ એન્ડ દેટ મચ્છર કમ્સ એન્ડ લેન્ડ્સ ઓન સમ પાર્ટ ઓફ યોર બોડી, એવું કંઈ બન્યું છે? બટ યુ આર સ્લીપિંગ. You are not awake, you are sleeping, and suddenly your hand starts moving, the mosquito, એવું બન્યું છે કે નથી બન્યું? કે you just wait, લે પેજ, જેટલું blood donation, or you would exactly stop it અને ખણવા લાગો ને એવું બન્યું છે કે? The knower is there, though in a deep slumber, but still that knowingness is gone. એ ભલે રેગ્યુલેટરમાં 1 કરી નાખો તમે, that knowingness is એકદમ ફ્રેશ નથી, એ તો કોફી પીસ પછી જ થશે. અતુલ, એ જાગ્યા પછી બી એનું રેગ્યુલેટર 2 પર હોય, પછી બીનાને બોલાવે ત્યારે 3 પર જાય, પછી એ કોફી બનાવવાનું કે ત્યારે 4 પર જાય, પછી એના ટાઈપની કોફી પીએ ત્યારે એનું રેગ્યુલેટર 5 પર જાય, and then he'll say, I am awake now. So regulatorનું મેં તમને સમજાવી દીધું, but that thing does not go into 0. Fans off નહીં થાય, 1 to 5 માં રમ્યા કરશે. So that is it. And when you wake up after sleep, don't you realize I had a good sleep, you say? Sound sleep. I was sleeping and making sound for that person next to me. Didn't you say that? Didn't you say that I feel so fresh? So you do experience, you do know the freshness gained thereby after a sound sleep. So sarva avastha ne vishe, it exists in that state, and nyaro still remains separate and just the knower of the state, because after the state is over also you are knowing it. How is it possible? If it was not separate, if you are not separate, how will you know after the state is over? But this has gone and now I am awake. I was dreaming whole night, but thank God you woke me up. Means you are present in both and still separate. Then only you can pick up the message and tell the other state. Reveal it in the other state. Right? So this is a wonderful, so the Guruji is saying, this remaining separate and constantly knowing is the evidence, evident sign you can say, or evidence of the existence of the soul. Ever present evidence which indicates the existence of the soul. So he's actually proved the existence of the soul in this verse, especially by the ever-present attribute of knowingness. Sarva avasthane vishe nyaro sada janay pragata roop chaitanyamay, the knowingness, that is the sign of the existence of the soul. Let's sing.
सर्व अवस्थाने विषे न्यारो सदा जनाय प्रगट रूप चैतन्यमय एंधाण सदा.